All right. Let's get to it. It's weird. Ah, excuse me. Excuse me. Whew, sniffly. They do need to be quite low poly. I guess we'll leave them right there for right now. Where is the spike for this one? Gotcha. Excuse me. Hello, Digimo. Welcome. There we go. Okay. How's your morning going, Diggy? Got my new glasses and cast my vote. Cast your vote. Where are you voting? If you don't mind me asking. Germany, we got local elections now. I already forgot who. Gotcha. All right, let's turn off the high poly. Well, let's turn off the high poly. These ones, turn on the low poly here. $49,000. With the body, we're at 87,000. Okay. We just bumped it up to 198,000 now. Hello, Kai. First detail, 100%. Yeah, I think we'll be able to get it down a significant chunk more. A lot of selections, not the party I support though, so I looked at the candidates' jobs and I'm not going to vote for a real estate agent. $108 for the chains. Okay. For our curves, we do just need to kind of mesh them now. So I'm going to take that one, I want to mesh it. Mesh. This is going to be our low poly that we're making right now. Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to program something, but I can only use AI help. Oh, I love the spikes. Thank you, Spixie. Hello. Good morning, everyone. And I am stuck. You can always start a new. I'm not sure what AI you're using, but like the Chat GPT Plus, or the paid one, is much better than the standard one. Not to be a walking advert for them, but all right, so we're going to go through all of these high poly objects and make the corresponding low poly version. Gemini, Find? Not sure what the second one is. Whoa. Excuse me. I really should just swap. I really should just make another curve that is the low poly version. How do I... There we go. Okay. Then what we can do is take these curves here, because these are curves too, right? Yeah. Take all these curves, duplicate them, actually, a little bit more. Duplicate them, send them to the low poly, turn on the low poly. Select these. Hello, Julie Parker, welcome. For a token like that, I once used a decimate modifier as unsubdivided and shrink wrap, and it worked. Hello, Arctic, good morning. Did you just delete the high poly stuff after making it and baking to low poly? Right now, I'm moving all the high poly objects to their own collection, which is currently disabled. So I'm keeping all the high poly items, so I can use them later. Actually, one more time, turn on the high poly, select this one, send this to the low poly. And then here, for anything that is a curve, we now want to set the object to this one, and we'll copy to selected and just flip it. And that should be good. Now we've created the low poly versions of all of these quite easily. Awesome. I think some of these might even have too much resolution, like these two. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Something like that should be good. Just saw a really cool video today. Okay, if I link, yeah, go right ahead. This doesn't show me my count. There we go. 2,432 tries for all of these. Okay, I think we got the count down a decent amount. Let's turn on the tail, eyes, and body really quick. I still really dense eye. That's because the body. Oh no, I take that back. It's because the teeth are on multi-res. So let's do that. That. So they need one level of subdivision. There's something that's being subdivided. Tail? Aha, here we go. This here. This should go into body by poly. Okay, cool. All right, much closer. We're trying to find the total count. And that's good because these ones are beveled. So they're already some ridiculous amount. Let's see. How's the RAS model treating? It's going well. It's RAS. Oh. Crazy. That's hilarious. That's also just insanely impressive how good that is. It's just an insane amount of work, to be honest. I don't think we're doing the face horns. I remember. I think we are. So we're going to call this horns. As soon as it fucking lets me type. There we go. And then we'll duplicate the collection, turn off the high poly. This horns low poly. And select objects. We'll isolate our view, select all of them. Take the bevel. And can I set it to 0? No. I can turn it off. I guess we would just want 1. Ooh, okay. Very close now. Very close to the required amount. Well, 80,000 is still quite a bit. I could... Alright, if I lower the subdivision on the tail by 1, actually even 2, and that's enough resolution right there. Yeah. Alright, we're doing good. So the final amount should have 50,000 triangles. See if we can get that. That's still pretty ambitious. But it gives us a lot of room now to mess around. Okay. So let's just we got, I mean, our work's cut out for us. We just got, everything needs work, so let's just keep going. Excuse me. Do I unwrap horns? I think it'd be easier to just treat them as one material. Yeah, we'll leave them there. It was up till 1 a.m. last night, but I got all my Abbies updated. Knackered today, but tomorrow is a short work day at least. So that's good to hear. Hopefully you get some good rest then. I'm going to apply this subdivision. And what I can do is actually go in and start slicing some of these. Maybe I don't need it. So nice that they're already all UV mapped. How nice is that? This is fucked up right here. Okay. Then we actually do need to add a mirror mod to this. Doing good though. Okay. Should be good. Very solid. All right, let's focus on the high poly now. Because I still may adjust the position of these curves. So let's not get too carried away and UV unwrapping them yet. Make sure I finish my high poly. And what I'd like to do is take this one. We're actually going to get rid of the array and the curve on this. Then what we're going to do is add nothing. We're going to make a new object. Delete everything in it. Add a geonode. Say new, lock this in this. Call this curve instancer. Take this guy. Nope. And this guy. Bam. Take this curve. Bam. All right. And we'll want both of them. Say relative for both. So this is the spike. Bam. And we'll say object to instance. And then take this one and say curve to instance on. And then get rid of the initial geometry. We don't need any of that. Okay. So with our curve, there was a nice curve. Sample curve. Curve to points. Resample curve. I think it's this one. Curve to points. And we should be able to see those points now if I select that plane we just made. Unsupported type. Separate components. Good, like the curve here. When we feed this object in, let's do that. We don't have any control points. Really? It is a curve, though. Do I have to remove? Ah, interesting. So the moment I give it a bevel, that's it. It's just no longer a thing. If I give it depth, it just, okay, so it makes it become a mesh at that point. Fascinating. All right, so then we'll do a few other things. So curve to points. And we also have sample curve. Also say curve to mesh. Take this, and I guess we need profile curve. Sample again. Interesting. Goofy. I don't see my profile curve showing up. see, this is getting too complicated. I just want to take the curve and put an object on it, please. Okay, we'll do the profile curve in just a second. What I want is this object here. I would like this. Okay, I see. I don't have to do what I did. This one will be original. Now we can say curve to mesh. Do that, take the profile curve, put it there. Cool, now we got it back. Awesome. Then we can also take the curve, turn it into points. And on those points, instance R. Object. Align Euler to vector. Then do it again. We have them all pointing in the same direction right here, which means that we can just take that original rotation Oopie. Main's being a jerk. We're working on Shimo. So this is the dragon lady that we're working on. But I'm just trying to get these to line up. Because it'd be really nice to have them line up evenly. I think we'll transform geometry, and I should have put it right. Hmm. So I give it an object. I can feed it geometry. Why? It's not a problem. So then I can transform geometry right here. Then we can rotate it. Yeah. Okay. Why was I concerned about that? Okay. So we do want to rotate it again and align to Euler. And again, normal. I always struggle with this one. Vectors are hard, yeah. Vectors are tough. Oh, wait. Right now I'm getting the curve to points. Why don't I get the normal from the geometry? And do that. Still stupid. Sample nearest. Point. Position. Normal. Oh. Right. Funny. Okay. Curve to mesh. This is what we want. Super close. Really enjoying the Hue Shift audio link I managed to make for the Proto Bear. This Abby is 2.5 years old now, and I'm still working on it. Right, give it the so annoying. Same one. Oh, so close. So fucking close. It's always so difficult. I don't know why. It just is always such a challenge to get the normals to work properly. I feel like I should have had this solved ages ago, but it really just fucking sucks for some reason. It'd be better to just do a curve to mesh. Make two curves. I'll just make another curve. Be a grid line. Or line. Mesh line. Of 2. Curve line. Excuse me. No one wants to be down there. Fun. Maybe that's my problem, was having it set to relative. Or no, I just blew up the mesh I already had. All right, fuck that. Where'd my instances go? So I used the wrong. Aha, okay. Let's see what happened. I used the wrong initial curve. All right. There we go. There we go. A waste of time. Okay. That's okay though. Now it's working. And I can cry happy. Now what we can do too is we can change the amount of curve to points, which I will put here. Call this instance count. And I can turn them up as I need. Great. And I can now do that for all of them, which I also think is quite cool. Cool. Additionally, we can start adding some more details because we are using this curve here, which is pretty cool. Cool curve. I'm going to duplicate it and kind of shrink it down. Then I'm going to take the originals, delete those, select this, do Alt-C. Okay, take the middle one, Control-L, hide that really quick. Take these, delete those segments. Get rid of that. Something like this. Okay, why do that? Well, now we can start getting some more interesting details on our high poly, because it could use a little bit more visual interest when we bake things. Cool. Hello, Booms. Welcome. Let me switch back to layout for now. And probably do something like this. Here's the view of the profile. And isolate. And we can go to these ones. Pop open our reference image. So what I need to keep in mind for a lot of geometry nodes is that I just kind of have to extract what I want. I can't like can't wait for like the perfect solution. There's no perfect node. You just got to take what you want. All right, beautiful. We're going to get some very nice normals from this. Then anything else to add to those? No, not at the moment. But these ones down here, those are the ankle straps. Are they the ankle straps? Yeah, the shoe position confused me. But these ones, hide the mirror for now. And we'll actually get rid of the profile. And instead, call this one clean belt. Duplicate this and call this garter belt. All right. And on the garter belt, what we're going to do is change our profile curve to this one. Oh no. Yeah, that one. Okay, there we go. I understand some of the color sculpting stuff, but this is actual sorcery. Hello, Dara. Welcome. Good morning. We're doing some fun stuff right now. Trying to be a little sorcery with it because I need to save some time for myself when I'm doing some certain tasks. Right now, what we're trying to do is make these little buttons. That shade smooth, bring them way down, probably right around there. And we'll call this, we won't call it anything then. Dot. Not quite sure what to call it. Dot. And the dot will go on here. Dot. Wood. Fewer instances. Say probably 10. 10 or so. And the dot itself can be smaller. Maybe a little bit further out too. There we go. Gorgeous. Again, just saving me a bunch of time. And then trying to place those by hand, or if I need to adjust the curve, you know, I always have that ability to do so, which is really nice. Can I change the resolution here? Yeah. Okay. And now there actually are a decent amount more straps that do have the same thing. What to do about this one? Because if we're looking at our reference image, this is actually cut through. We can see the little hole right here. What is this? Oh, I read that. So you have the little hole right there, and then the garter goes up into the skirt. Also, the belt does have, this actually is a belt. It's not just a thing. Not just a thing, you know, words and stuff. What we'll do, I believe I can set one of these to the end. Not quite sure how to do that, but we could just turn off the disconnect. So if I do that, okay. I can't do that. I could separate, not quite, or split. That's what I want. Also not great. Interesting. If I connect those, it does that. And if I rip this with Y, hide it, then delete it. Still wants to go there. And how do I separate a curve? Kind of a tough thing to do for some reason. No. So a few things. First, we do want to actually add, take this one, grow the selection, and subdivide. So I can take this front one and push it out. And then these two, squish them in a little. And we can start getting that belt kind of, the belt position. Now we don't really want that spike on there. That's okay for right now. We will want a little buckle on there in a moment. And additionally, for the spike, is we're going to bake the high poly one. Duplicate this, send the duplicate to the low poly version. And on this one, extrude, hide, this up, unhide. Okay. Now I've got this little edge, which I can crease and bevel. We get something like that. We'll just close and crease that. So do the same thing, like so. So now we're getting these really crispy spots there. Beautiful, looking super good. One more thing, we'll take this again, bevel it one more time, take the top, move it up, decrease it, then move the tip down a little. Or maybe I could have just turned down the vertex crease. Just not quite as sharp like that, a little more bullet-like. All right, good stuff. Now, I really need to figure out how to separate this curve properly. So we're going to isolate it. We're going to subdivide here, and I'd really like to actually delete that. Not just pretend to delete it. Actually delete it. How to set up. Blender, cut, curve. Cut / break a curve. Create a new node. X key segment. Ah, that was a lot simpler than I thought. All right. I want this here. And I want to delete this segment. Gotcha. Then I duplicate this one and connect those, bring them back. So I merge. Guess that works. Interesting. Interesting. So for our curve, we're getting amount. Hello, Jack. The welcome. The welcome. Welcome. Welcome the welcome. So for our geonode object that we're using, I think when we make the curve and then sample it, curve to points, we need to actually resample it beforehand. And we'll actually use the same amount. We'll resample it and then just do, I could just do, oh, never mind. We don't need to do that. Put that back. We can just say length. Turn that up. That way, instance distance. Not meaning to rhyme there, but I think it's appropriate. And then we can just put that there. Wow, that is too much. Okay. Why is it so much? Yay, Joe Nodes! How's your day going, Jack? Up to anything fun in Resonite lately? I've been hopping back in to do some D&D related stuff every now and then, which has been super fun. That is not correct. Something's wrong there. 0.08. 0.008, and I take that and I put it right here. Okay, why was it being weird beforehand? Strange. Been managing. I also would like to slice off, delete geometry. I'm going to delete some points. If the index equals 0. So get rid of the very first one. I would also like to delete Can I do -1 for an index? That would make it a lot easier. Z-Rave last weekend, which was nice. Heck yeah. shouldn't have a point there. I do that. So index -1 does not work. Ooh. Which means we need to take attribute statistic or domain size for the geometry, point count, math, subtract. Right? Should be right. Ah. There we go. Go. I had full control over our stream from in-game. Could switch cameras and scenes and such without any issues, which was pretty cool. That is really cool. I was watching someone sync up like their VRCHAT rave to an IRL rave, and I was like, that's the future. We'll see a lot more of that happening. A lot more. I suppose we do need to make this like a default. Cool stuff. The future holds many exciting things. I'll be right back. 1 second, y'all. I have to go to the restroom. All right. So we're making good progress on all of our fun stuff here. Excuse me. Go ahead and just bring the reference in directly. It's a little hard to see. I'm going to set this to random. I'll pop the colors out. The image. Make sure the front's invisible, or the front's the only one visible. And then attempted to make it a little translucent, just so you can see a little bit easier. Okay. And then we'll make it so I can't click it. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so a few more things to do. Quite a few more things to do. First is I would like to be able to punch a hole through this mesh. I think that'd be cool. So what we'll do is we'll change the distance here, be a little bit bigger until we get a gap in between, say 1.11, 0.1105, 107. Oops. A little hard to get exactly right, but we'll see what we can do. But you know what? I don't think I can get any more resolution because of the curve itself. In order to get more out of it, I think I actually have to bump that up. Otherwise, there's nothing for it to sample. I take that back. Yeah, I mean, that didn't even move. I don't understand. Okay. Let's kind of scoot this over a little. Shrink it down. Also do is take this middle section, duplicate it, and separate it. And then we'll remove from the original the loop I just made. Take this other one, fill it, and extrude it. Take both caps, grease them. Something like that. Then we take this one, we're going to add a Boolean set to intersect, fast, and sample. This one, by the way, difference. Maybe turn up that subdivision once more, too much. Not enough. The normals are definitely getting destroyed there. What could I do? Let's hide it really quick. That's not even working well. Not a great solution there. Hmm. I could always paint it out and actually make it transparent on the texture itself. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Let's do a cutout texture. And I'll bake this whole ring into the texture instead of having it be kind of a separate object. It will be part of the texture. That'll make things a little bit simpler. Good. Okay. Next, for the leggings here, actually for, not just for these leggings, actually, for the high poly leggings, for the mirror, we're going to add, you guessed it, another geometry nodes. We're going to call this one bulge. New. Oops, did not mean to get rid of it. Lock it in. And so this one will be a little bit more of a straightforward operation. Basically, we'll just drag in an object. And we'll say deformer, so we'll call it. We'll make sure it's set to relative position. And we'll want to go ahead and use the proximity node. And we'll do this to create a offset of the original geometry. Using the normal. Using this scale, vector math scale. Like that. So right now it's inverted. Instances and input geometry are ignored. Gotcha. So we need to realize the instance here. I don't think it was being ignored, but that's what it's saying. Okay. Then what we'd want to do should be before the mirror. And we would want to map the range how do I get the max value out of this? Oops. Does that work? I get the feeling it doesn't. First, let's just shrink it. We'll do math, multiply by 0.1. much less. Okay. So now everything's getting offset by the normals. The further it is from it. I want to go the other way. Oh. No. That's gotta be super simple. I just want to take a range and I want to flip it the other way. Would it just be multiplying by -1? -0.1. Not quite. I mean, distance. Okay, so distance is a value of 0 to max, or 1. We'll just think of a range of 0 to 1. We want to flip this. So when I map the range, what I actually want to do, I do want to map the range, and I just want to flip these 1, 0. Yes. Then we can multiply 5.5. And then Thighs got like, hello, Eventide, welcome. Let's say 0 for right now, and then just turn off the subdivision. So we should have a bit of faster performance. Okay. Awesome. We are clamping this. So if I inflate this, and then we adjust this value, should be able to get a range, a maximum range. Then we can push this inwards. Something like that. Cool. Should not be that far. I'd like the range to be a little bit smoother too. It's a very, very sharp cutoff. So I think we'll want to do a, what do they call it? Float curve. Like that. A little bit softer. Yeah. Cool. So we want that. And then what I'd like to do next is take the range right here and push that out, or the other way. So we'll do kind of the same thing, set position again, offset. But take the range on, but push that minimum down, which right now we have this value of 0.035. So then we do that, and then a math of 0.035 plus, say, 0.01. That. And then do a fall off. 0.1. Get a little pudge right there. I would like to do as well is then blur the attribute there a few times, and just kind of making a slightly less intense squish. And we'll blur the other one too. All right, but now if I take my curve, we move it, we have this dynamic squish, which is pretty awesome, honestly. It's a little too strong right now. Looking really fucking cool though, for sure. Sorry, 1 second here. Send a message. All right, good stuff. So now I'm going to switch it up. We're going to go back to our little geo node here really quick. The last thing I want to do is when we make our instance, we should realize them so I can duplicate. Otherwise, they will not do anything. Okay, we're doing good. So for the squish here, we're going to make a new collection in here, which we'll call leg belts. We're going to take this belt and all these ones and move them into that collection, leg belts. And then on our geo node for the leg here, rather than taking in an object info, we are actually going to use a collection, not a cage collection, a collection info instead. So that will make this a little bit easier. We'll call this the former collection. It should be relative. We do need to realize it as well. And we just want to make sure we are selecting that leg belt. Collection, like that. It's a little intense. It's a little odd looking there, that's for sure. Okay, so this will be deformation start. It's a little unfortunate because I don't want it to squish the other side. Yeah. Okay. So instead of that, we'll just go back to that single object. This one's here. We'll just make them a little bit bigger. All right, pretty full. The best part, they can't even be symmetrical. I'm cheating, making sure they are, but if that's what you mean. And these got some spacing here. A little spikeroonie. About there. Good stuff. Laggy. Very laggy. It's not that dense though. Really shouldn't be quite that slow. We'll just pause it for right now while we work on it. It's really slow. Is something else referencing it? Or is it this evaluation that's happening? I mean, I disabled it. It should be... Let me just delete it for a second. Still super slow. Okay, so something else is causing it to be that slow. Whew, excuse me. Oh, thank you, Dara. Someone else referencing this. How would I be able to tell? We are in a very high poly situation right now. But this seems too much. It's not that dense. And it's not the geometry node doing it. So if I delete it, it's still just as slow. Interesting. You gotta work with it while it's a little slow, that's fine. Do those belts need some edgy buckles? Because I'm betting there's gotta be a mesh or brush pack with skull belts somewhere. I think for me, I would prefer to make it by hand if possible. Excuse me. So many buckles. There are quite a few. So many buckles. So for this one, we will go ahead and remove profile. Which folder is this in? Arm strap, okay. And yeah, might as well make a collection for arm straps. And drop them in there. Okay. And then in here, make a new plane, delete it. Actually, no, delete that whole thing. Take this, duplicate it, send this into arm straps, and we'll call this arm strap hollow buckle. Hollow. Something like that. And I want to take that one, instance on it. Be This one. Tilt. Actually, go ahead and clear tilt. Do a bit of that. Bit of this and that. That one looks a little odd. Let's go segments, smooth. All right, good enough. Cool. And then on this, we will make one more object at the bottom here. So I'm actually going to take our dot, duplicate it, move it over, and we'll call this hollow ring. Take the, might as well just delete it actually. Make a circle of 8. And right about there. Extrude it inward. We'll add a solidify at the top. That. Okay. This one, hollow. Right. Doesn't seem right. Interesting. Something about our delete is probably not working. You're doing the grommets, my mesh? My mesh? Yeah, we're gonna bake these in. This is all the high poly texture. Or high poly objects we're making right now. So I'm gonna make them in Substance. I've just found that you get a little bit more for free doing it with the high poly. Better normals, better ambient occlusion, that kind of stuff. Should also include a scale adjuster. Something right there. Get a layout. Oops. Yeah, I find that even when I need to make like a mask selection now, I'll do as much of it as I can in with geometry. All right, that looks good. And then what I'd love to be able to do is figure out how to make a cap. Like for example, this the holes here, like I'm not probably not going to make a hole in the mesh, but I can make a little circle geometry to fake the holes. Yeah, how did I cap the end? Because I've got a few belts that need that. Yeah, the holes, that's not as necessary, but the reason I would rather do it here in geometry nodes is because when I adjust things, like if I need to move the belt, I get to move it with it. Hot tip, goddamn, flip my perspective on how I can build these. Yeah, like all of this stuff, because I'm making it in Blender with geo nodes, if I needed to make a new belt or I need to move it to a different spot, this or that, it's all flexible. And then I'm just exporting something to bake. But you know, doing it in Substance is just as valid. There's no wrong way to do things in 3D, just preference. Okay, I'm going to try to take this here. Duplicate it. Mesh it. Delete this side. Then we'll add a modifier. Or a... It should be here. What's it called again? Spin. Screw. Sure. Actually, no. Why not? There we go. That should be our cap right there. Might as well mesh it. And do merge by distance. Beautiful. All right, so and then if we go to our GeoNode, oh, GeoNodes forever. Oh. I do reconsider that VTuber dragon. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you looking to get a commission? They're the best. I love GeoNodes. Phone died. Uh-oh. Let's So we're going to instance on these points down here, the very final points. Stream is now 1080p only said. I don't think I'm outputting 1080p. Are geonodes tightened to the curves, and that's how you're multiplying a copy all around while keeping evenly spaced? Sadly for me, I'm gonna guess yes. So you can take a curve and then create points on that curve. And then when you create those points, you can determine how those points are created, either evaluated, which gives you some options. I think that's just kind of letting Blender figure it out, or count. So this would just be how many you want to have. Which in this case, this doesn't quite, I'd have to turn this way up. You can see there's six on there now. Or length, which I find to be the most useful, because count length, since it's based on distance, tends to prevent clumping. So the clumping you see here is because it's pushing through the back. You're making so much sense on learning this. Well, good. It's incredibly useful. It is a pain though. It is pretty painful. Just a forewarning. And we're going to take our cap that we just made. Drop that right here. Next time I could make a geonode that automatically cuts it in half and does that, so I don't have to. Well, if I have to redo the cap again, that's what I'll do. I don't want to do it again. And we'll call this cap. And we'll realize the geometry right away. Or no, we're doing that at the end. I don't need to do it then. Take this, drop it onto the instance. Realize geometry is not used when pick instances. It's true, pick instances. Oh. Sure. Okay, so now we are creating it and setting it there. But we need to align it. So what we need is this here, or I can just drop it in. Super close. Let's isolate the object. So we can see the caps on both ends. So all we really want to do now is just rotate it. Well, yeah, I'll do it in here. That's not, no, I thought that'd work. Okay. I think I need another align Euler. And then we would want to use, or no, No, I take that back. What we want to do is duplicate this, and we actually just want to align it a different way. So we want the normal. Just want to align a different axis to it. And then we'll do it again. Align the Z to the curve tangent. So close, but oh, well, almost. Right, because the tangent only goes one way. Why would the scale be different? Scale should be exactly the same. Fucking close. It's not the scale. Scale's not the issue. It's just slightly rotated. Well, it's still scaled kind of small. Maybe I need to first align it to the normal. Or sorry, first align it to the tangent. Then align it to the normal. Or, fuck all that, we just take the rotation, put it in here. Now we do have to use an align. We gots to. If I drop this one in, we get that. Just still kind of goofy just by itself. Do you even know how many things I need to learn right now? I'm working with UE5. Well, again, there's no end to the learning. There's always more. Now it should be the exact same scale. Look at that. It looks perfect. So why is it not? 11:22. Okay, still got some time. Obviously, when the cap comes in, this is just select error. Here. Select start end. That's what we're doing there. That's all that this does. Sorry to ask, if you're moving this into subs for texturing but using highs for Blender, how are you going to combine them? Are you only moving the garment but not the accessories? So usually when I bake, I create an exploded version and a clip version of everything in original position. Excuse me. But we're just going to go through the standard high poly to low poly texturing process. So close. Hmm. Now this is going to mess up all my little tiny belts too. So now they're going to have these little caps in there that don't actually exist. Oh, wait, not that one. Here. Yeah, they got these little caps. But I guess all of them, no, actually, those are the tops of the leggings. They're not actually belts. So I would want one more option. From my group instance, which is switch here. Bam. And we'll do this, a bool, which will be add end caps. So if it's true, we do. And if it's false, if it's false, we just don't even pass anything along. Okay, cool. Now we can add them if we want, turn them off. This one here, we definitely do want them. Cool. And on one of these instances, which will be the first one. I wish that worked. That'd be nice. Evaluate at index. Can't go lower. Okay. So we already got the actually we only have 2 caps here. So it should just be greater than 0. That should allow us to rotate this one 180 degrees. 0. It's nothing. 90. There, gotcha. So we'd want the there. Okay. Cool. Super close. The real question is, why is the scale slightly different? My guess is that the curve is slightly scaled. Mean radius, 1.051. So what we want is to scale the cap based on the radius. So we'd want to sample curve. That would be the beginning, first point, first index. So we take the curve. We sample it. And we want that radius. This is the position. Radius. Bam. Cool. Or actually, here we're realizing this. If I don't, we gotta look at our instances. But we do have radius right here. So I should not even need this. I think I should just be able to access it by named attribute. Radius, which has scaled it up properly. Still leaving a gap though. Okay, so so close. So close. Why is there still a gap? Okay. Should be perfect. Because we're evaluating the normal by sampling it from this line that we make, which is not very useful. We actually should not do that. We can use it for the instances, but we should not use it for our final one. Sample. Yeah. So here, this should come from this normal. Cool. Then we can go to our rotate instances. Perhaps just turn this off. Or just say 90. Or cry, because it does nothing. Or no, that's the wrong thing. Leave that alone. That's that one here. Yeah. So we want to rotate again, but here. Holy shit, we did it. Okay. Just dissolve that. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Okay, that's gonna make making these belts way easier. Way easier. Because they look good and they're correct. A good combo, as it turns out. Looks good and is correct. My favorite kind of synergy. All right. Good stuff. Now to those tasty weight paints. Totally not going to be a torturous tooth pain at all. You know, weight painting is not too bad. I just use the robust weight paint transfer. It's my favorite. This one's a mirror. Mirror. A mirror. Savage note taking. Fucking savage, bruh. Bruh. It really lagged super hard there. All right, back to layout. We got another 20 minutes and then I'm going to go on my run. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Slowly, surely. It's gonna look fucking dope. Not that many tuts for that add-on. Is it good? It's very simple. And I think that any sort of mesh data transfer weight transfer add-on is most likely going to be better than Blender's standard weight transfer tools, because those kind of suck, to be honest. Those actually do kind of suck. Blender's standard weight transfer is what I'm referring to when I say that. Switch to random. Get these sorted. Sure, we're pulling them away from the surface here. Good stuff. There. Okay, main body's no longer intersecting. And we're just gonna pull away the sleeves and stuff too. Beautiful. All right, so jacket's no longer clipping with the other clothing items. Jacket. Jacket. And we're just gonna go. I think I need to wait till I have applied the higher subdivision level for sculpting, because if I sculpt now, it's going to deform, unfortunately. Okay. All right, good stuff. Now for our shirt here, we do have this little edge along most of it. I'd like to create that, but maybe not just yet. Excuse me. Oh, thank you, Booms. All right. It's easy. Heels are always such an interesting dilemma. Hello, Fox Gamer Pros. For uh, 3D objects. This one's got there's quite the cap there. The chains, there's not an insane amount of stuff we can do about that. Just kind of is what it is there. Yeah, we'll need to do a geonode for the chains too. Because otherwise we're messing around with curve deformers and that gets annoying. Yeah, we're gonna delete the chains here. And well, not that one. I want to get rid of our curve and the array. We have this single link here. That's good. It's our little collection of tiny studs and stuff. Moving it shouldn't affect anything. I don't know why it's so fucking slow though when I do that. There's just some things that are really, really slow right now. I'm not sure what's going on. It's just this one, or oh, it's this one. Funny. Where'd that one? That. Not moving. Strange. Whatever. Here. I think we'll bake this single link, is what we'll do. Yeah. So this will be our high poly version. Here, no, not a subdivision. We'll do a bevel. Yes. These chains are pretty rounded. We'll just bake just a single one. Cut it. Select the inner and outer and just hit it with a little too strong. Sure. Something like that. All right. Confused note taking. We'll rename this. We'll call this chain link. Okay. And then we have all of these curves right here and here. And what we're going to do, oh, perfect. They're already in chains. We'll take out chain link, or call this chain curves, and drop these all in here. Cool. And then we'll also make a new collection, which we'll call chains geo node. And there we'll make a plane, which we'll go ahead, select, delete, and move to 0. Go to geonodes. We're going to take our chain curves. Here. That's the wrong geonode. Chains all. New modifier. Instance on curve. It's a little different than our previous one. Somewhat similar. A little different. Okay, first things first, we don't need the original geometry. Second, we want our chain curve collection. Add input that is a collection. Drop it right there. And call this curve collection. Awesome. And we want relative. Don't need to separate. What we'd like to do is say curve to points. We want a bunch of points. We want it evaluated by length. And then we want an instance on those points. We'll take in an object. We'll say instance. And this is what we want to, you guessed it, instance. Right. First, we need the object info. Geometry. Okay. And in this case, we will first take the chain curves, put it right there. Then we'll take our chain link, drop it right there. And perfect, we are instancing. Now, curve to points. Separate components. Let curves go in there. Weird. It seems to be working just fine. It's giving me a warning, but it is working. That must be a bug. And it says it's evaluating by length. Let's resample the curve by length. Okay, that's still mad at me for some reason. We'll do that. I don't understand, but the mesh to curve was working. It's still mad at me, but it is working. For some. Oh, wait, I see. It's gotcha. I see what's going on. So we need to separate components, curve, and then curve type, set spline type to, okay. No. What the fuck is going on? We'll just say realize instances here, and then mesh to curve. Still strange. Must be the types of curves. These are all NURBs, NURB paths, NURB paths. They all should be working just fine. Let's select them all though and say object convert to curve or to. So now they should all be curves. Is upset. Mesh in here. Just does not like NURB path. But they're all curves. Fuck you. They resample curve. It's not adjusting anything there. Only the ones on the bottom. Fascinating. Okay. I say we do curve to mesh. And mesh to curve. And it doesn't matter what we're feeding into it because it's still going to instance on them no matter what. Okay, I separate components. So if it's a mesh, we go mesh to curve. If it's curve, we just join it back together and feed it into curve points. It still doesn't work. There's no errors now. Fuck you. There we go. Okay, holy fuck. Okay, but now we can go curve to points. We'll set it to length. And the length will be determined by bounding box, which is these 2 points here. So we want to separate X, Y, Z for both of them. And then we just take this, subtract these together, and then maximum. or is that absolute? And then F multiply by 0.5, and that's the length we want. But I'm feeding in the bounding box. Okay, so now all of these are dependent on the size of the chain. I can adjust the chain size and yada yada. Okay, then we want to adjust the rotation. Now we've adjusted it to be based on the normal. But again, we have to do all this bullshit like align either to vector, rotation. We take in the rotation and we'll align it to the tangent. That might be enough. But we should align it to the normal as well. Because that way we can go into the curves, say one of these, and adjust the tilt, and I should be able to see that change. Cool. There we go. Now, lastly, we're going to rotate instances rotate instances. The selection will be the index. And we want every other, I believe that's modulo. I just get a little confused with this one. We drop in the index. Modulo should be 2 or point. Let's keep it at 0.5 for now. And then that's our selection. We rotate. And we want to say compare. All right, let's look that up really quick. Blender, oh, it's already new. Select every other index. Index, we modulo it by 9. I guess 9 is the nth. Equals 0. Copy that. So it's truncated modulo. That doesn't matter. I just need to here if this equals 0, then rotate. There we go. 90 degrees. Fucking gorgeous. Okay, there we go. Now we got some chains. Don't really have to worry about getting them perfect. I should really start saving these more often. This is way too much work to be redoing every time. Okay, and we're going to put the change node. I want to make it unselectable. All right, that's fucking beautiful. Okay, this is a good time for me to go ahead and take lunch. So for you, those of you that aren't familiar, I do stream twice a day. So we're gonna end the first stream for now. I'm gonna be back in about 2 hours after getting my run in, going to eat, and then we'll begin the next session of work on our outfits here. We're getting pretty close to a good stopping point. And then beginning to bake all of our assets. So if you're interested in seeing how I'm going to bake this, definitely tune back in a little while. But also, just so any of you are aware, I do have mentorships available. So if you're interested in any mentorship, just head to samdutter.com. Got to toot my own horn a little bit. And if you're interested in commissions, I'm also available right now. So definitely consider checking those out. But again, I'll be back soon if you're interested in learning more. Tune in, and we'll see you then. Have a good lunch. I will booms. See you then. And Eventide, thank you so much. Arctic, Fox, anyone else that's lurking out there. Zoom stopped by earlier. Jack the Fox, Diggy, Dara. A lot of people coming by. Kai, it's good to see you, Kai. I hope you're having a good time. And Spixie. A lot of people coming by this morning feeling good. Lord Pepsi. And hello, Pepsi. Welcome as well. We'll see you all very, very soon. Goodbye, everyone. Bye. Bye.